welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but I just really have been into what I've been doing lately and didn't really feel like recording any of it because I feel like everything I've been doing has been sucking lately. But I am back and I'm determined to keep this up. I don't think I'll be sticking to like a permanent schedule for right now. I'll just be like posting whenever I finish something. But I hope to post more frequently on here, so we'll see how that goes. I originally actually wasn't going to even record this painting, which is why it starts off after I've already like blocked in the nose. But I figured, you know, why not? Because if I end up not liking the video, I could just delete it and no one will know. But I ended up really liking this piece, so here it is. For anyone wondering what I'm working on, it is just a portrait practice piece in Acryla gouache. Recently, I've been playing around with Acryla gouache and I love it so much, so I hope to be doing more of it. I'm not giving up on watercolors. My next piece actually that I'm working on is a watercolor piece, but Acryla gouache is just something I want to explore more. This is like my third acrylic gouache painting in most recently. The other two are portraits as well and can be viewed on my Instagram if you'd like. For this, I'm working with Holbein and Turner acrylic gouache on Nujabi soft pressed watercolor paper. I've actually never heard of this brand before, but Jerry's Artorama, which is an online store I buy a lot of my supplies from, was having like a huge sale, so I decided to go on there and just look for a bunch of new supplies to try out, like a bunch of new paper, got a bunch of wood panels, stuff like that, and I ended up seeing this paper, so I decided to just try it out. I just got like a pack of 10 or something in a 9x12 size. It's really lovely paper. It's soft, off-white, slightly gray toned paper, and I love the edging of this paper. I love rough edges. Sometimes in my original paintings I actually tear the edges to get that kind of effect on it just because I love it so much. My only thing is it's watercolor paper, but I would be careful doing watercolors on it, especially if you draw on it before you do watercolors, just because it peels when you erase on it, which is annoying, and it's hard to use the light box with it. I tried, but you can't really see through the paper. It's kind of thick. So once I saw that, I just really didn't feel too comfortable painting on watercolors with it. So I decided to test out gouache on it, because before I've only ever painted gouache on wood panel. I mean, I've done acrylic gouache paintings in my sketchbook, but I mean like actual finished stuff I've only painted on wood panel before. This paper is wonderful for gouache on it. I feel it's so nice to paint on. So I think I'm just going to be using this purely for gouache paintings in the future, so that way the paper doesn't go to waste and it's not just sitting in a drawer somewhere, which happens a lot with some of the supplies I get. I've been trying to use them a lot more though. I recently actually picked up some really nice 300-pound watercolor paper, and it is fantastic, but I will talk more about that in my next video. So I'm still fairly new to gouache, so I know a lot of people ask me like for tips on blending and stuff like that. I really don't feel comfortable giving advice just because I'm so new to it and I don't want to give like bad advice, but I will try to talk a little bit about how I blend, especially when the hair part comes up. Take it with a grain of salt though. Definitely try it out for yourself and see what works for you. I do recommend though practicing water control, because that is key to gouache and watercolor. But for gouache, if you have too little water, it's too dry and it doesn't spread very nicely and it's hard to blend. If you have too much water, then it's too transparent and it's hard to blend. So finding that right ratio from paint to water is super, super important. And for the hair on this, I actually decided to paint the hair a little bit differently. Usually with hair, I take it as like one whole component and I paint the whole thing at once. Like I'll do a whole base layer and then work that way. For this though, I decided to focus it more in sections. In the drawing, I think it's kind of hard to see, but I actually sectioned off the hair with pencil just so I knew what sections I would work with. And I actually started with the darkest color, and I would put the darkest color at the roots of the hair and the tips of the hair, and I would blend that inwards, and then with a separate brush I would take the lightest shade and put that in the middle and blend that outwards towards the darkest parts, and then I would just kind of do that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until I got the right effect that I wanted. Blending is still pretty tough for me. You can still see the strokes and stuff like that, but I actually don't really mind the effect right now. I would like to get a much smoother blending technique down, but that's just gonna come with practice. But yeah, there's really not much to say about this piece. Just, like I said, it's just a practice painting with gouache on paper. So before the video ends, I do want to make a few announcements. First announcement is that I am now on Patreon. I'm fairly new to it. I just started it like last week or something like that. I do have a few posts on it now though. But if you would like to support me and get like high-res scans of my art, sketchbook pages, step-by-step pictures with like more in-depth explanations of what I'm doing, the meaning behind my pieces, references I use, etc., 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 definitely check it out and consider becoming a patron. The link will be in the description. So far, I only have 2 tiers. But I am working on a third one for physical rewards. I'm just not sure what I want to give. I don't know if I want to give prints or stickers or do like a goodie bag type thing every month. But yeah, that'll come later. But if you would like just to support me that way, like I said, link will be in the description. So I would really appreciate it if you check that out. Also, if you would like to own this piece, I do have the original and prints available in my shop right now. That link will be in the description as well. I only have 5x7 prints of this. Let me know if you want a bigger size. I figured 5x7 was pretty good since it's the original is 9x12. But yeah, I think that's it for me. Sorry for rambling on. I'm trying to get better with just talking to myself. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!